Okay, so we're just checking out Sharky, what you've got so far, and you're shaping as far as the outline, following the outline there goes. Looks pretty good from all directions. So you've got the general shape down. The problem that we're seeing a lot of here is we've got a lot of faces that are overlapping and faces on top of faces, and it's going to cause you all kinds of problems later on. So, I mean, you know, kind of if you just take a look in this area here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8, probably more vertices in an area where you should only have probably about 2, okay? So, and then also the nose has gotten crinkled pretty severely, and just the last little problem here is the edges that are going along Sharky's body here are going pretty much in a straight line when they really should be kind of following that natural curvature of Sharky's body, okay? So with all that in mind, because of all of these extra faces that we have, right now it would take us like a lifetime to try to address all of those little tiny face issues at each point and make sure that we fix them all. So what we're going to do instead is just go ahead and start off with a new cube, and we'll just do this from the beginning here. So just follow along, and we'll get going with this, okay? I'm just going to move this guy off to the side, alright? Because, you know, as far as the outline, it all looks pretty good. It looks like it's got the right number of edges and so forth, so we can kind of use it as a reference if we want, alright? So let's go ahead and start with a cube, alright? And, you know, we're probably going to create this just slightly differently than the way we created it in the book. I don't have a book in front of me at the moment. I'm in the middle of a crazy move, so I apologize for any confusion there as far as doing it a little differently, but we'll get to the same end result either way, okay? So let's go ahead and create a cube. You're going to come up to Create, Polygon Primitives, and we're going to hit Cube, and our new cube will pop in here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a look from the side here. I'm just going to use my scale tool and scale this cube up a little bit. Alright, and let's see, we'll scale it more than that. And so what I'm going to do is just come in here to my vertex mode. Just grab those verts on the end there. I'm just going to pull them back right here to where the corner of the mouth ends, okay? Just pull that cube right back there. And this one, for this end, I'm just going to take it right there to where the tail kind of stops curving inwards, okay? As far as the height goes, let's take a look from the front here, and well, because I've got this other Sharky kind of hanging out right behind that one, I'm going to move him over so he's not chilling in the way there, okay? Let's take a look at this, and we're actually just going to scale these verts up, okay? So we can just marquee select. Basically, marquee selecting just means we're clicking and dragging to select a bunch of vertices at the same time. This makes sure that we select both the vertices that are in front here as well as those behind them, okay? So we're just going to move this up to the top of our shark here, right here where that dorsal fin starts coming out, and we'll move these guys down right to the belly line, okay? Then we're also going to move these upwards. And you know what, for this part, it'll probably be best to grab all of them and just scale them in the Z direction here, okay? Make sure you don't use this guy to scale, because that's going to scale everything at once, alright, in all directions. We want to make sure that for that, we're just using the Z direction right here, okay? Just this one. We'll scale it out to about there. We'll take a look at it from the top here as well, and it looks pretty normal, pretty okay. Feeling pretty good about that. Alright, so the next obviously problem we have is that this is just a cube. It's got no edges to work with, so we can't really modify the shape very much beyond just moving these little verts on the end here. So let's try and make it look a little bit more like this shark that we've got here, okay? So let's see, for example, how many edges we've got going on here, okay? So we know that our current shark is ending, our cube ends at the corner of the mouth here, okay? So we'll start counting from there and see how many we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? 9 being the end, so really 8 edges in between, okay? So let's go ahead and add those, right? And what we're going to do is first we're just going to add them so that they're perfectly evenly spaced, and then we're going to adjust that spacing after we've added them, okay? So we're going to come up to Edit Mesh, and we're going to use a tool called Insert Edge Loop Tool, okay? This is going to put some new edge loops on our cube. Now, before we click on anything, come up here to this little button right here, okay? It looks like a bullet point list with a little wrench on the side. You can click on that. That's going to open your tool menu, okay? And this has all kinds of different features that your tool has, different properties, okay, that you can change around. And what we want to do is we actually want 8 edge loops, right? So we're going to put them all in at the exact same time. We're just going to hit multiple edge loops, okay, for 8. And we're going to go ahead and put number of edge loops right here. We're going to put 8, okay? Now, once we've done that, we can close this little box, and we can just click, and we now have 8 edge loops. Make sure that you hit Q to quit the Insert Edge Loop tool after you have done that, okay? So if you don't hit Q and you've still got your edge loop tool going, for example, every time I click on something, it's going to be adding 8 more edge loops until I hit that Q button to quit the tool, okay? Remember, if you make any mistakes like that, you can always just hit Z to go back, alright? Z will just undo the last thing you did. You can keep hitting it for a very long time, and it'll keep undoing things, okay? So here we are with our 8 edge loops, alright? And then we also should have some edge loops that are running down the length of Sharky as well. So let's again look at our little reference that we've got here. And it looks like we've got our outer edges of our cube here, and then we've got these 2 different edge loops running down the length of Sharky. Okay, so let's add those guys. So we're going to do the same thing, Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool. This time we only want to add 2 edge loops, not 8. So let's open up our little tool menu over here. And a number of edge loops, we're going to put 2, alright, instead of 8. Now we can just click on any one of these vertical edges, and it's going to add those 2 horizontal edge loops for us, alright? Make sure to hit Q again to quit the tool so we don't add any extra. And if we take a look at our cube now, you know, we've got all these loops going around. The other thing is we don't have any divisions in the top of the cube yet. So let's take a look at our reference again. We've got 1, 2, and 3 edges in between these outer edges, okay? So let's use our tool again, Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool. We'll open up the little tool menu, and this time we want 3 edges. So we're going to put 3, Okay.